Well, hello everybody. Today I want to talk with you in this episode about the importance of SEO as it relates to images and specifically all non-written content. In fact, um, what I want to do now is take you over to HubSpot. HubSpot just recently wrote this article on it, came out this morning, and it was a phenomenal guide to how to really think through what you're doing when it comes to content as it relates that's non-written. And so let's just briefly review that. At the bottom of this video, there's going to be a link to this so you can go off and see that, then read the entire thing and sort of digest it. But let's go over the top points. First, let's talk about image SEO. So image SEO, all the pictures on your website. I think a really key point here is that it's important that you always be thinking that this question of what can Google see? And one thing they can obviously see are things like file names. So it's important that your file names actually match what you're trying to describe because Google will use that information. Your alt text. I thought this was a really nice example here. Notice how their alt text here, this one to avoid. I've been guilty of this in the past, as opposed to this, which is a much more straightforward method of clearly defining what's going on, and that it's a slight variant of the keyword, but still keeping in the same theme. Your context. This is important. You want to make sure that especially with your header tags, I think it's vital to have those header tags sort of describe keywords that are relative to that image and relative to the post content. And then they talk about submitting an image sitemap. If you're using tools like WordPress, which is what we build most of our sites on, there are Google Sitemap plugins that do this. If not, you definitely want to have some way where you're constantly building a sitemap. Sitemaps are just essentially tools that Google uses. They're not guaranteed to be how they search a site, but it does help them in terms of indexing on where to start. So you're sort of giving their Google bot a heads up on pages to go to. Video SEO. Video is just like the one you're watching right now is vital. It's engaging. People like it. With the advent of the mobile platform is what I believe will be the dominant platform we're all on, and the ease at which video is played on that versus reading text. Mobile or video is where it's at. So you want to be doing video. And so make sure that, one, you're saving your video off. We host our videos on YouTube, and then we just embed them on our site, just so that we have that. We're using our blog as our total content repository for all non-video content, images, things like that. And then we have that YouTube channel for video content, so we have two real repositories in that regard. You could also host yourself. There's some great services. You can host off Amazon S3 or something like that. But I would recommend you at least are leveraging YouTube as well as part of your channel. Naming your file is important. Just like with the image, you want to, even when you're loading it up to YouTube, do not just take the file format that whatever came out. Name your file what you want it to be about. And then in your description, once again, use those keywords to sort of move in and out of what the video is, and how it can actually work. So if you're going to use YouTube, remember that the description YouTube will grab will be from the top part. Even though you have up to 5,000 characters, the SERP description is only about 156. So you want to be very focused on that. And this is an interesting point they say about try not to host more than one video on a page. I think more than anything, that's just for good user experience. We're a big believer in brief introduction of the video and text, video, and then a call to action. A very simple strategy, but it drives a very effective click for someone who's taken some time to actually watch and see what's going on. There's some more things on here, video sitemap, embedding specific anchor text. You know, video is a strategy in and of itself, and you really want to think through that. So this other part's interesting with included transcription. YouTube will actually do transcriptions for you as part of the service, and then you can go through and edit it slide by slide. This is a phenomenal way to ensure that you are getting guidance into your video about what it's about. So take advantage of that. Audio content SEO. So if you're doing a lot of podcast, things like that, once again, this is some interesting points about iTunes, making sure it's easily accessible with keywords in iTunes. Optimizing for strategic keywords, same thing you did before with the videos. Soliciting reviews. These are all important things. This was a really good one to consider as well. Once again, it's about a lot of this, especially with image and audio and video, is thinking about the content, thinking about ways to pull material from the content, like transcripts, using that to then also take that information and then build out more content that the engines can search. So always feeding the content as many possible ways into many different channels. Social media, boy, you can't. Everyone's talking social media, right? And you know what? Social media is absolutely vital. It's as vital as search was. Now, that it means all of social media, right? Not just Facebook, even though Facebook is clearly one of the largest, or not just LinkedIn as it relates to business, as they're clearly the largest when it comes to business, but just the fact that today it seems we have the ability to quickly share signals about what's going on, and content is vital. And in a world where you're constantly either paying a lot for your advertising to come in, or you're trying to figure out Google's method for how they're going to rank you, which are both very painful. One of the simplest ways to drive good quality traffic is to have a strongly opinionated content that speaks that has a very clear voice. Where we live, I mean, you go into a Best Buy or you go into a bookstore, we live in a world of Me Too's, right? Everybody's got you look at the computers at Best Buy, hard to tell which one's really different, right? Yet, look at the Apple space. Everyone gravitates to those Apple computers. Apple's always had a very defined voice, and yes, they have great engineering. Yes, they have some great products, but they have a committed, defined voice, and get an opinion. I mean, if you look in your life, you'll find you have opinions about areas of your business. If you don't have opinions about areas of your business, maybe you need to be in a new business. And I don't say that jokingly, which is if you can't be passionate about what that business is, then it's going to be very hard to find a voice. So this is great about great content about how to deal with different things on social media and what you would look at. I would definitely urge you go to their blog.hubspot.com, and check this article out, or just visit the link at the bottom of this article. So thank you very much. And as we close, there's one more thing I wanted to share with you, which was this. So you notice that we started with this attractive woman smiling at you, and we're finishing with her smiling at you. And the reasoning is very simple: is that another part of your use of video and images is to really think about influence and persuasion. And simple things like this: someone looking at you eye to eye and smiling have a radically higher click-through rate and observe and watch rate. So think about that a little bit. You can begin your videos. It doesn't have to be as direct with this. Sometimes it can be just interesting images. But remember that we're human beings. Content's about us being interested. Be interesting. If you're not interesting, don't publish the content. I think no content may be better than boring content. Everyone has differing opinions on that, but I would save your energy for when you have a voice and when you have something you're excited about publishing. So visit the links below if you have more questions. If you are currently trying to grow your business with online lead generation and you'd like to get the phone to ring more in your office so that you have more excited prospects coming in that convert to opportunities, my company, Rubido Leads, can help with that. And thanks for your time today.